my stuff.
Hello and welcome back to another tutorial video from this very normal, very up-to-date tutorial series on YouTube. I am this guy John, also known as That Guy John on my main channel, and welcome back to my tutorial series titled How I Make My Stuff. In this tutorial we're going to be going over tweening. Now, what is tweening, you may ask? Well, despite what it's called, it's not turning in your tweens. That's not what it means. No, tweening is taking two keyframes, frame A and frame B, and then having the computer fill in the spaces in between, aka tweening. So in order to show an example of this, what we're going to do is take one of our arm layers and then take this beginning keyframe, and then we're going to go, like, I want to say, let's do 10 frames, and then we're going to create a new keyframe there, and let's just rotate the arm a little bit like this. Okay, so now we have frame A and frame B. And now what we're going to do is right-click the space in between, or if you have these shortcuts, so you're just going to click that button and it'll insert a classic tween. And what this has done is create a classic tween of frame A to frame B, and the computer fills in the spaces in between. Therefore, a classic tween. So that's just the simple breakdown of what classic tweens are, but there are other different kinds of tweens out there. But we're not going to get into those in this tutorial. What I'm going to show you is how I use classic tweens in my animations and how I utilize them to make fluid animations. So now that we have frame A to frame B, we can apply this process to our other body parts as well. Whoa, he disappeared. Where'd he go? So now what we can do is we can apply this process to our other body parts as well. And depending on how complicated the movement is, you can basically do simple body movements using classic tweens. Oh, I accidentally went into the symbol there. Okay, now you don't have to have the tween end at the same frame your other layers end. It all depends on how you animate it. You can have it end wherever you want. I'm going to have the body stop at frame 8. And what we're going to do is select the space in between frame A and frame B, and then we're going to create a classic tween. And now it has tweened the body in between the arms. And since the body is connected to the arms and the head layer, it also rotates the head and the arm as well. So isn't that nifty? Oh, but if you've seen my other videos before, well, my videos on my main channel at least, you'll begin to question this method like, this doesn't look the same as it does in your videos. Why is that? Well, I'll show you. It's because we have no ease in our tweens. If we click on the space in between the tweens, we can go to the Properties panel and then go to the Tweening Effects. Now, here we have Ease, Effect, and Rotate. Now, what we're going to be focusing on right now is the effect. Right now, it is set to Classic Ease, which means that the movements are going to be very linear. You notice it just goes from frame A to frame B like a robot. We don't want it to look like a robot. We want it to look like a person. So in order to do that, we're going to have to add some easing. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We just go to the effect, and then we change it from classic ease to ease out. And what this has done is that it has sped up the movement of the first frame and then slowed down the action of the second frame, therefore giving it ease. Here's the difference between the two. No ease with ease. Now I have set the tween to ease out, which means that the movement will become slower as it approaches the second frame. But if I were to set it to ease in and apply it there, you'll notice that the arm slowly rises up this time. So ease in and ease out both have different meanings. Now once you've applied your classic tweens and that you've added your own set of easing, oh, by the way, you can also add your custom eases by going to Custom and New. And now what you can do is you can actually select the curves and create your own ease in, ease out movement. Look at that. I just made that. You can get really creative with tweens, but the way I like to be creative with tweens is to make it look like it's not tweening at all. Now, you'll notice that in my videos, I utilize tweens a lot, but it doesn't look as smooth as it does here. Like, it's more jittery, more on twos, if you get what I mean. But this one is on ones, which means that the movement is affecting every other frame. How do I make it look like it's on twos instead? If you want it to look like it's on twos instead, what you can do is you can right-click the section in between the tween and go to Convert to Frame-by-Frame Animation. And here you get options for each frame, every other frame, every third or fourth frame. And what I like to do is convert it to every other frame. That way my animation looks more on twos than on ones. I just like the way that looks. If you prefer to have your movement on ones aside from twos, then go ahead with that. But I'll say this, if you want your animation to look jittery, you can try every other frame, which is twos, or threes, or fourths. And you can get really creative with that. Anyways, that's all I have to share about Tweens. You can apply this process to pretty much any symbol that you want. And if you link the symbols together, you can get really creative with Tweens. You can do simple body movements, or you can do simple expressions with this method, or you can animate torsos to go like up and down. You could also get really creative with these tweens by having one movement to ease out and then ease in and out again. So let's start with this movement right here. I have frame A going to frame B and then ease out, and then I'm going to go to frame 24, create a new frame right there, and then let's just rotate the arm a little bit down this way. And then we're going to insert a classic tween in between there. And let's change the effect to ease in and out court. And let's see how that looks. There we go. Look how smooth that was. But we can make it look even smoother if we convert it to twos by right-clicking in between and then convert to every other frame. And look how smooth that looks. There we go. Yes. Movement. Alright, that's all I got to cover in terms of classic tweens. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you guys really enjoyed this tutorial, then do not hesitate to leave a like. And if you want me to make a tutorial on a specific topic, then do not hesitate to request one in the comments. And maybe you can consider clicking that subscribe button as well. It's just something to consider. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!